looks like you're ready to roll. Well, welcome everybody to another episode of the SA Voice podcast. I'm one of the co-hosts, Leighton, and I'm always joined by Elle. Thanks for having me on today, Elle.
Yeah, thank you, Leighton. Happy to be here as usual.
Awesome. It's a beautiful day, and we are joined by Amanda. Thanks for joining us today, Amanda. How's it going?
I'm good. How are you guys? Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Awesome.
doing well. All's well.
Good. So, Amanda, welcome to the show. I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about yourself, what program you're at SLC, and why you chose SLC as your college of choice.
Sure. So I'm Amanda. I'm 19, going on 20 in a couple of weeks. I'm in the 2-year business program going into my second year in September, and I honestly chose SLC just like by complete chance. I'd already applied to another school, was set up for an audition because I was going into the music program. And then we happened to be in Kingston one day, drove by the campus, and my mom turns around and I have a giant grin on my face. So it's like, why not apply there? It was like a week before the deadline, so it was...
Wow, that's awesome. So what made you choose the business program over the music then?
Business is always something that I've really enjoyed. I've always kind of wanted to be a bit of an entrepreneur, so I figured it would be good to get like a general foundation in business so that going in I can be even better in my field.
Nice. Well, good for you. Welcome. Leighton and I both took business programs. We took marketing, but it's a wonderful program. You'll get a lot out of it. It's really, really great. With that too, where are you from? If you're not from Kingston.
I'm actually from Belleville, so it's about an hour away from Kingston, but I used to spend basically every other weekend in Kingston, so it's probably like my second hometown.
Nice. Yeah, I feel like that's a really common thing for Belleville. A lot of people will come to Kingston, especially in like the summer warm months. But nice. That's
I
awesome.
actually just came from there, walked in the door about 5 minutes ago. So
nice. Well, welcome. Happy to have you here.
Yeah, thanks for fitting us in. So Amanda, going into the business program, there are a lot of different disciplines that you can go. Is there one that maybe interests you the most? Are you kind of leaning towards the accounting or anything, or do you think that the 2-year business program is a solid foundation for you?
I'm definitely leaning towards accounting as my favorite, and possibly going into that for a 3rd year. So it was always my favorite in high school. I was never really into marketing that much, and then HR I had no previous experience with, so that was kind of nice to get that foundation in all 3 in the 2-year first.
Nice. Yeah. No,
and so you're going into your 2nd year this fall?
Yeah.
So how did you find the wrap up to the last semester with online classes and online delivery, and knowing that next year it will probably be all online? Are you looking forward to that, or are you a little timid?
I think it'll be interesting because my professors all had different approaches to online at the end of this past semester. One of my professors actually ran classes online through basically what we're doing right now through video chat. And it was really interesting to be able to do that online. So if it's going to be something more like that, I'm interested in it. And I've done online classes in high school before, so I've had a little bit of experience with the whole online platform.
No, it's definitely good that you've had experience. I'm assuming it would be similar to what your professors were doing towards the end of the semester, maybe even a little bit more tailored, fine-tuned, because they have more time. But it's good that you have experience, because I know for a lot of people it's definitely a switch.
Math 53 online was not the greatest, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
absolutely. How have you and your family found the last couple months? Are you guys happy and healthy?
Yeah, it's actually been pretty good. So we're actually a pretty close-knit family as it was already, so it wasn't too much of a change, and it's been nice kind of getting back out and being able to do stuff together.
Awesome. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, for sure. Tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you like to do, and what are you looking forward to getting out and doing this summer? Do you like to do water sports? Are you a hiker? What kind of stuff?
I'm definitely a hiker. That's
nice.
My favorite part of camping is going out on the trails. I'm definitely a performer at heart. That's one of my favorite things to do is singing. I did 4 years on a performing arts team in high school, so that was probably one of my favorite memories.
Good for you.
Great.
Yeah.
Have you been to Rock Thunder?
I have not.
It's really nice. It's like not. It's nice if you want like a little bit of a harder trail, but not like super extremely hard. Like anyone can still go and do it, but it's not just like your standard. Like for Kingston, at least, if you go to Lemoyne's Point or like Parrots Bay, like they're more. It's a little bit better of a hike.
Yeah, those are my favorite trails. The ones with like all the little obstacles in them. Like it's sandbanks. Like they have a bunch of trails that have like all the roots and rocks in the ground. So those are definitely my favorite trails to hike.
Yeah, no, Sandbanks is a good one for sure.
Sandbanks is beautiful. Yeah, all the restaurants, wineries, and the provincial park there. It's a gorgeous spot. We're lucky to have it. Well, awesome. Thanks, Amanda. We'll move into the second part of our little chat here. We have some cool questions for you, meant to be thought-provoking, but also a lot of fun. We'll hear your feedback, and then you'll kind of hear our answers too. So I'll start off. Amanda, are you an early bird or are you a night owl?
Ooh, I'm an early bird when I have to be, like being on a tour bus for 4 a.m., but I definitely prefer night owl.
Yeah. Do you stay up pretty late?
Not if I have like early classes, but if I don't have anything till like the afternoon, then yeah, I'll stay up.
I'm a little bit opposite. I'm more of an early bird. I used to be a night owl, like when I was in high school and stuff, but I think it just switched because I couldn't do the back and forth. I couldn't do the waking up super early some days and then trying to go to bed earlier on those days. Like I'm very consistent with like how much I have to sleep. So I had to like switch to waking up earlier, and I quite like it, just having a little bit more. I feel like I have more time out of my day, but staying up at night is definitely more fun. Because even now when I do stay up late, because obviously like I'm a college student, I stay up late sometimes, but even when I stay up late, I still wake up early. It's because my brain, and then I'm exhausted.
Yeah, I'm definitely a night owl, so I see both sides of it. But when I used to work for an ambulance company in Northern Alberta, it was 5 a.m. job start. So you get both sides of it, but I think naturally I'm a night owl for sure.
Yeah, and it's definitely nice too with the online classes. You didn't have to be up at 8 a.m. unless you were in a macroeconomics class. The one that ran online, he kept it the same every day to be at 8 a.m. Monday classes, which
It's always hard. Awesome, okay, so next question. What is your favorite book, if you have one? If you don't have a favorite book, what's your favorite movie?
My favorite book, if I had to choose one, it would probably be Little Women. I find that book kind of like old English kind of style, which is what I like to read. So, and it's definitely got that whole side romance going on between two main characters. But if I had to pick a movie, it'd be the Star Trek franchise. I'm a huge Trekkie.
Okay.
Yes.
So is Leighton, and so is Terry, and so is Beth. They all work for the Students Association. I never know what's going on.
I love it.
I just go like this.
Have you? Have you watched the new Picard series?
I haven't.
Get on that. It's good.
Voyager. So hopefully I'll be able to start catching up on that.
Nice.
If I haven't seen any of the Star Trek anythings, can I watch that and understand it?
Maybe not. There's some background that you might not be familiar with. Some of the characters that show up don't really have much of an introduction besides themselves. But it's a good glimpse. It's Picard as an older man and how he kind of goes through one last mission to save the galaxy, right? So I thought it was pretty cool, and I love Patrick Stewart. So.
Question for you, Leighton: the original Star Trek movies or the new J.J. Abrams reboots?
Ooh, I think I gotta go original. Yeah, I gotta go original. I'm not a big Chris Pine fan, and J.J. Abrams kind of has his hand in everything. He did Star Wars and Star Trek. I think they could have given it to somebody else to kind of see what they could have done and not let one person handle two massive franchises, but we'll see.
Well,
We'll
he
see.
probably wanted to, but
I'm a Zach Quinto guy, but no one plays Spock like Leonard Nimoy.
Exactly. Right on. Cool. I love that you're a Trekkie. That's awesome.
Becky.
Awesome. So my next question for you, do you like to travel, or are you more of a homebody? Would you stay home if you had the choice, or if you could go, would you go?
I would love to travel if I could. Like with my background in performing arts, on our March breaks, we would always travel somewhere outside of the region. So, but we never went out of Canada. I would love to go and see Europe. Like Italy in particular is on my bucket.
Nice. Yeah, I think I'm the same. I'm more of a traveler, even just in like on like a daily basis sort of sense. Like I find I'm not home very often when I'm allowed to not be home. I've moved around quite a lot. I grew up in the States and moved to Canada, so I feel like I still have some of that like wanderlust in me. Like when I'm done all my programs and stuff in Kingston, I might move somewhere else. Like I keep my options open, so I think I'm definitely more of a traveler by nature.
Yeah, definitely. I think everybody wants to travel if they can, right? So why not? Italy, I love that. If I could visit any country, I think I said the last time on the other podcast, but Japan. I'm really interested in that country and their culture, so that's on my bucket list for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like Europe. I'd like to go to Thailand is a big one on my bucket list for sure. And then like Australia.
Definitely interesting.
Mm-hmm.
See, like especially because it would be such a different culture from here as well.
Exactly. Yeah. I think it'd just be really, really interesting.
And the food, the cuisine.
Yeah. Okay, so if you could choose any two famous people, they can be alive or they can be late, to have dinner with, who would they be?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I think I'd have to go with Chris Tomlin. He's a singer who followed kind of a similar career path that I kind of want to follow. And then I'd have to go with Leonard Nimoy. He put so much into his character as an actor. It'd be really cool to pick his brain on how he developed the character.
That's interesting. Cool. I like that.
Yeah, I don't know the first gentleman you mentioned, but Leonard Nimoy, famous actor, performing artist. I'm sensing a theme from you. You like the theaters and the arts, like you said. You've got a background in that, so that's awesome. That's cool. Two interesting, very interesting people. For my two to have dinner with, I said this last time, and my answer is not going to change. It's going to be Nikola Tesla, the great inventor, super interesting, and Barack Obama. I'd love to pick his brain and figure out what made him successful.
Yeah, mine always remains the same too. It's Alan Watts and Jack Black. I just think both are honestly like pretty opposite people. One's like a writer and a poet and into Buddhism, and Jack Black is just, I think he's just so down to earth, and I think it would just be awesome to like chill with him, like just kick it, have a beer, have some tea, coffee, whatever. If I had a third though, I'd want to sit with Michelle Obama.
Yeah,
she can come. I think she would love that round table.
That would be cool. That's awesome. All right, we have a few more questions for you. Moving on to the next one. I'm gonna take a guess here that I know your answer, but what is your absolute dream job if you could have any job in the world? What would you do for a living if you could have your pick?
Absolute dream job, I think would probably be if I could just traveling around doing mission work, because that's one of the aspects of our tours that we did was we would go and do mission work at youth centers, homeless shelters, and that was always the highlights of my tours. So I think if I could make a living just going around and doing that, that would be amazing.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, if you're on the path of entrepreneurship, then eventually it'll take some time, but eventually you could be sustainable enough where you can take time and go and do all that. I think that's really, really amazing.
Yeah, I love that answer. Good for you. That's very giving and caring, and it kind of shows us a little hint of the kind of person you are. So yeah, much respect for that answer for sure.
Yeah.
Mine's not going to be as nice as I guess that would be. I would love to be involved in maybe a sports marketing or a sports agent kind of thing, and work with high profile athletes in the NHL or something. So not quite as egregious as yours, but hey.
Yeah, my goal is just to, as long as I'm in a position where I feel like I'm supporting people and really impacting either society or people's lives as much as I possibly can within that position, that's like my dream job. Whether, you know, in my head, I'm like, it's probably going to continue working within a nonprofit, but it could be something else too. I like to keep my options. Yeah, exactly. And, you know, Leighton and I work in a nonprofit now, so why not just continue?
Oh,
nice. So, yeah.
No.
So with that, it kind of goes hand in hand. What's one skill that you think that every person should have or should begin developing in their life?
I think definitely a communication and how to read people. I think that would save a lot of people a lot of time if they were able to like know what someone is thinking or how they're feeling, and they'd be able to adapt their communication to that and know what's going to be effective and what's not going to work out so well.
Yeah.
Not just for this, but like in everything, you should be able to have people skills.
Yeah. Well, that's really, really great. I've always said like a few different things on this because I think there's a lot of skills that people should work on developing. But for today, I think a good one is self-reflection. I think it's important, and I think that not enough people. It's one of those things where I think not enough people do it simply for the fact that they don't really know how to do it. Like when you think about self-reflection, it's like you have to look at where you were, how you got somewhere. If you're happy with where you're at now, if you're not, what are you going to do to kind of change that and make it better? So I think that's really important skill in general for people to have. And I think it would be useful if it was like taught a little bit more and people worked on that skill.
I think too, being able to reflect on both the positive and the negative, because a lot of times when we think about ourselves, we just think about like what's negative about us. Like a lot of people focus on the good aspects.
Right. And that's the whole, like, you know, if you're unhappy in your life currently, that's okay. That doesn't mean that you didn't like come far from where you were at a certain point in time, or, you know, it just means that, you know, you have to do some self-reflection and think about what you want to do next.
I love those answers, ladies. It's evident that you guys share a similar wavelength along that thinking path, and I love that vibe. And my answer is going to be similar. It's going to be empathy. I think that with everything going on in the world right now, you need to be able to understand your fellow person and just put yourself in their shoes and realize everybody's coming from a different path and a different story than you, and you never know what people are going through. So just being able to calm down and understand what other people are going through, I think could be so valuable, not only in business, but politics. I mean, you look at what's going on in the world, and it's a shame at some of the things that people are doing to one another, and empathy can be right there. Just move forward with love in your heart, and I think good karma will come back to you. So definitely.
Yeah, always a good one. Put the three of our skills together and you've got it made. You got like a person who's on their way.
There you go. There you go. Well, Amanda, thank you so much. We've got our last question here for you before we start to wrap up. I'd love to know, what are some of your plans after graduation from SLC? Do you kind of have an idea of what you'd like to do?
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, I would love to get into the nonprofit sector. I was actually looking at some worship courses afterwards because I am Christian, so I would definitely want to get into like leading other people to that and being able to just share that with everyone.
Awesome. That's great.
Yeah, I love it. You should connect with our campus chaplain, Kathy. She's amazing, and she does a lot of great work here for Christian outreach. And I know that you guys would vibe. I can tell that right away. Absolutely. Sure. Well, Amanda, thank you so much. Is there anything that you'd like to leave us with? Any kind of advice for students who are maybe starting this year before we let you go today?
I think just be willing to put yourself out there. Like, I know when I went in for my first year, I didn't know anyone, not being from Kingston. So it was definitely like a little bit intimidating, but once you put yourself out there, like you'll be able to just meet a ton of new people who you don't expect to meet, and just get involved as well, because that's a great way to meet new people and people you might not meet like just through your program.
Yeah. That's wonderful advice. Thank you so much, Amanda. I think
it's going to
really
be tougher to meet people this fall with everything being online, but I love that sentiment. You got to put yourself out there, get a little bit uncomfortable, get out of your safe bubble, and yeah, that's where personal growth happens. So I love that answer. Good for you.
And I mean, if people are worried about meeting people this year with the changes, do something like this. Don't be scared. You know, you can have a virtual meeting. It might be super, super awkward at first, but that's how you're going to meet your classmates and develop those friendships too. So group projects work so much better when you can like actually talk to everybody too.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking from experience, that definitely. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Well, Amanda, thank you so much for your time today. I love your vibe. I can tell that you would be a great addition. We'd love to have you on next month. So what do you say?
That sounds great. This has been a lot of fun. I'd love to come back.
Awesome. Okay. Well, we'll have you on next month. I'll be in touch, but thanks again for spending the last half hour with you. It's been great to get to know you. I hope you and your family stay safe, and we'll talk soon. Okay.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. Make sure to follow us on our Instagram and our YouTube channel. Give us a like and a comment, and let us know what you'd love to see next. And we'll have some more cool guests like Amanda on. Thanks again, everybody, for joining, and have a good day.